Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! Here she goes. Yo! What's going on, fellas? We already got the neighbor down there. I screamed yo and she can already hear me. What's going on? Chewy said BlackRock is my daddy. You guys see my my comment in this in the comment section? I typed in BlackRock. BlackRock is going all in on on Costa. Let's go, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat though. We got Franco. Man, we're in that part of the troll phase in the market right now, man. The Discord is going crazy with trolls. You gotta love it, man. Listen, I will say this, guys. If you're in the crypto space, you know, and like I said, sometimes it gets to everyone. But if you're in the crypto space, you gotta be able to take the trolls, right? Holy shit, you gotta be able to take the trolls. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause man, we are in that trolling phase in the market, man. The black racks. Dan had one before. Nice, man. That's bullish. I'm bullish on that, man. Anyways, Bitcoin with a slight move up today, which is good. Now, is it anything to get super excited about just yet? Not really, but there's a chance. There's a chance. And we have gotten back over a key level, which was one of the levels we were looking at. So we'll talk about that today. Shout out to everyone in the chat. This morning in the member stream, we actually found a fake Java. Now, I did not choose this, okay? This was everyone in the member stream that chose the fake Java, okay? Well, this is actually Java's brother. This is Java the Rich, okay? So just make sure you know this is not my choice, and it is what it is. What we got? Who we got? Shag'em. Fake out. It could definitely be a fake out. I'm not completely sold just yet. As I don't think you really should be sold about this little move up here. Mr. Hart, troll me all you want. Let's go, man. You got to be trolled. You got to be trolled in crypto, man. Would crypto even be crypto without being trolled? No. Don't believe his lies. This was all Dan's doing. Now, should we see him? Should we see him? Anyways, let's talk Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll look at Jabba the Rich, because Jabba the Rich is in there. Anyways, Bitcoin, a slight move up today. One of the levels we were looking at was this 25K level, and we said, okay, so Bitcoin dropped below that yesterday, right? We know this. But we said, okay, if Bitcoin can get a move back above 25.4, all right, you got a chance of a little bit of a short squeeze. Now, you saw a little bit of a short squeeze today. We got back above 25.4. We squeezed up to about 25.8. The question is, and what we got to watch out for now is, was that the end of the squeeze? Or is there more oranges to be squeezed? Well, the bears and the bulls, contrary to popular belief, both want something to happen here. Now, Jabba the Rich, here he is right now. He's going to tell you what happened to him today. No! I finally shorted... My God. I shorted Bitcoin from my long-lost brother Jabba. I found his book, How to Short. Yeah, and I found his poster that said, bears are pussies. So I shorted Bitcoin today, and now I'm wrecked. I'm literally wrecked. Why am I just shorting the best performing asset of all time? Why don't I just short the altcoins? What the hell, man? This is all Jabba's fault. It's such a bull. Jabba the Rich, baby. Jabba the Rich. Jabba the Rich.
Up. We're going to the moon.
Jabba the Rich. Let's go, baby. We got Jabba the Rich in here. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He didn't have a good time. Is Jabba's brother named Jeb? It might be today. It might be Jeb. I haven't watched Jeb in a while. What's Jeb up to, man? I know Jeb was having some issues with his channel. He's like fighting with his employees on his channel. It's like, bro, you run a crypto channel, man. It's not that serious. He's like fighting with his employees. Anyways, what do we got? All right, so I would say this, okay? Jabba on crack. Jabba lost a little weight because he's on crack here. The last 6 months, Bitcoin's been going up, and Jabba had to lose a little weight because he went on crack. But no, so we got above 25.4. The question is now, can we hold above there? Let's see. I honestly, I think this is probably, at this point, it might just be a retrace, just like as Bitcoin continues to make lower lows and lower highs in here. At the end of the day, I want to see Bitcoin at least kind of make a higher high before I'm like, let's go, man. You might get a little upside move. At the end of the day, if you look at the daily time frame, as of right now, this is kind of just a bearish retest, right? So these lows right here, we basically just came and tapped those lows. So you see this low right here on the close, we basically dumped, we came back up, and we just retested that as resistance. So right now, it's kind of just a little bearish retest. That could change, and if we get back above this, it's like, okay, maybe we got some juice in here. But right now, it's just kind of, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, as we kind of keep just dribbling out in here. So I will say this, though. If you guys want some hopium, because I know a lot of you guys like some hopium, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. It's very, very hard in here. No pun intended. But it's getting a little hard in here, guys. Actually, what? This sounds so wrong. It's getting a little hard in here. So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I didn't say hard. Anyways, we're kind of stuck between this trend line. I was looking at this today, and I was like, okay, we got a little bit of a hopium trend line here, where actually yesterday we came and back tested that level. So we got one hit, we got two hits, now we got three hits. So you can see how we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. We know yesterday that we did dump below these two levels here. So the August high and the February high, we did dump below there, but we were actually able to get back above. So now is kind of like the decision time, right? Will Bitcoin find some bids? Will it not find some bids? I don't know. But you know, at the end of the day, we're all going to guess again. But at the end of the day, you know, we're kind of stuck between this low and this upward sloping trend line. Something's going to give in here. And hopefully it's not just, as Clint would say, another few weeks of slow sideways and down, you know, because I think we're all sick of the slow bleed. You know, we're all sick of the damn slow bleed. What we got in here? Jim said, strap up, we're going to 23.8. Let's go, man.
Bitcoin's going to 10K.
I'm down for whatever at this point. Let's get something rocking and rolling, man. Anyways, so that's really Bitcoin. It's kind of like it's just on a previous resistance and trying to hold it as support. Right? We kind of dipped below it. We got back above. We're still below the bull market support band, which we're gonna need to reclaim that if we want to be bullish. But if we can get back into the bull market support band by the end of this week and not close below it, which we would have to get back above about 25,800 by the weekly close to get back into the bull market support band, then we could say, okay, we wicked below, but we closed in. We got another week to try to decide, okay, are we going to get a bounce or are we going to continue down? Now, the big news today, if you guys saw the big news, and I don't know if this is big news, and I never really get too hyped on this type of news because if anything, you know, we've seen this a million freaking times. But the news today, okay, if we bring this up, and actually Horse Guy showed me this earlier. Horse Guy showed me this and he was like, wow, Jordan, have you seen the news? Look at the news. Look, BlackRock iShares files for spot Bitcoin ETF. It's BlackRock. So this is not a fake one. BlackRock will get an ETF. That is super bullish for Bitcoin. Yes, that is super, super bullish. We're going to the moon, guys. Yes, BlackRock will pump Bitcoin like it does real estate. Yes, that'll be good for us. Horse Guide showed me the news today. And, yeah, we got BlackRock iShares files for spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, isn't this kind of interesting, right? And you always know I'm a big believer in there's something going on behind the scenes. Nothing is just as black and white or red and green as the markets. You know, there's always some narrative going on behind the scenes, whether it's a bullish narrative, a bearish narrative, someone pushing price down so other people can get in low, or someone pushing price up so someone can get a good short. There's always something going on behind the scenes. It's interesting, right? That basically the US is trying to take out Binance, okay? And now, out of all times now, this could have happened at any point. And we know that throughout the years, BlackRock has been making fun of crypto. But now that the US is attacking Binance, you want to have BlackRock coming in and filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF. It's interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. So that's one of the news we had today. Once again, is there something going on behind the scenes? Will this lead to anything? We've seen this story a million times about the ETF. So once again, it's interesting that it's BlackRock. That's the reason why I think it's interesting. If it was any other company, I'd say they just get denied like all the other ones. But it's BlackRock, right? Which is very, very interesting about the timing that this is happening. And we know BlackRock is one of the, if not the biggest company, corporation, whatever you want to call them in the world. You know what I mean? Like they own an ungodly amount of real estate. They basically control that market. Do we want them to have control of Bitcoin too? I don't know. But if that's what it's going to take to get some type of clarity in crypto, let's do it. Let's freaking do it, man. So that's what we got going on today as far as news. We also had this, but I don't really think this is a huge deal. It actually caused an initial dump, and then basically Bitcoin pumped right on this news. You basically dumped and then pumped right away today, right when this came out. But you also had this that came out today. Celsius will be selling all altcoins from all customers, except custody with withhold accounts starting July 1st, and we'll be converting them into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So basically Celsius, it's not that much crypto. I know this sounds worse than it is. It's not that they don't own that many altcoins. Basically, most of their stash was Matic and Cardano. that was most of their stash, and you saw Matic get absolutely peppered today. Matic is just getting destroyed. Day after day, Matic can't catch a break, man. It's like day by day by day. There's this news on Matic, that news on Matic. Their founders selling coins. And now you got this. But most of the coins they held were Matic, and you saw Matic freaking dump like crazy. It bounced back a little bit today, which is good. But yeah, you have this going on too, which once again, I guess it's more buy pressure for Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is overall good for the crypto market. Not good for the altcoins that they do hold, which is basically Matic and Cardano, basically for the most part. But that's pretty much what you got going on today. And that was kind of the news, right? So like Bitcoin. So basically, a lot of the altcoins dumped on that news, but then they got a nice little bounce right after. It was kind of like that little fake out, breakout to the downside. So that was cool. But yeah, the Shadow Realm was waiting for BNB. Oh, the BNB. I'm still waiting, man. Listen, I'm definitely cautious on BNB. I've kind of said if you have money on Binance, I would not be keeping your money on Binance. I definitely would not be doing that. But let's let Binance play out. Like at the end of the day, I get the similarities there. And I get they're getting like destroyed by the U.S. or the U.S. is trying to destroy them. But let's kind of let that play out, right? So that's what we got for Bitcoin today. Other than that, you're kind of just flirting with a tough spot here for Bitcoin. You're kind of like under the bull market support band, but also above support. So we're fighting, man. Bitcoin's putting up a fight. Once again, we do not want Bitcoin to dump back into the range. If Bitcoin dumps back into the range, that probably wouldn't be very good. And we probably test some of these lower levels like we talked about this morning and like we talked about yesterday. But as of right now, we dipped below. We got back above. That's a good sign. We just got to continue to hold this. You know what I mean? Like we got to fight, right? The bulls got to fight for this damn support right here, my guys. Right? We got to freaking do it. I will keep all my money at total not a Russian hacker.com. Total not a Russian hacker.com. That seems like the way to go. At least at the moment. You know, like, oh man. I'm sweating balls. Holy shit. Maj, you just get hot as shit in here? No? I feel like it just got randomly hot. Maybe it's my computer going nuts. I feel like sometimes this computer gets so hot and then I just start sweating balls over here, right? Totally not a Russian hacker.com. I like that. The funny thing is you'll have like some people that'll like fall for like, they'll actually go to like not a Russian hacker.com and sign up. Like this guy. Well, I need money to store my crypto. It looks like Binance is gone. Binance US is gone. I need to store my Bitcoin somewhere. Let's Google. Where to store my Bitcoin? Oh, I got a Hershey ad. Didn't know I like chocolate. Okay. Oh, not a Russian hacker.com. Oh, that seems safe. It's kind of like SafeMoon. Let's put it not a Russian hacker.com. What's the worst thing that can happen? I'm going to buy some of these Hershey bars too. They look pretty good. Oh man, it would be some guy like that, you know. I'm getting old. I'm getting the hot flashes. Exactly, Palajic. I'm getting the damn hot flashes, man. I'm sick of these hot flashes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm turning 30 years old. It's like, is this when you start getting hot flashes? Like, you guys can probably help me out here. Like, when do you start getting hot flashes? You guys say I'm pregnant. Maybe, man. I've been eating a lot of chips. It kind of looks like I'm getting pregnant here because I've been eating a lot of Takis. And a lot of, actually, they have these new Takis peanuts. Oh my God, let me tell you, I've been nailing those. Those things are good. But at least those have some protein, so they can at least try to help the guns a little bit. Anderson said, doing fine, boss. Lots of L's tonight. Yeah, man, there's a lot of funny stuff going on in Discord, funny stuff going on in the world right now, actually. But yes, that's Bitcoin. I guess right now it's just that weird phase. It's that weird phase where like no one really kind of knows what's going on right now. Like it's just that weird phase, right? The reason why it's that weird phase is because it's just a weird phase because you got Bitcoin that's like at 26K, right? So you got Bitcoin at 26K. It's up here, but then at the same time, it's almost like a disconnect from the rest of the market because you got Bitcoin that's up like 75% off its lows. But then you go to the altcoin market, right? Altcoins are kind of at the lows, right? So it's like this weird little disconnect in the market. So that's kind of what you got going on right now. Now Ethereum is kind of at that weird spot too, right? So I almost took that same sort of trend line for Bitcoin that we had, and I kind of fit it for Ethereum as well at all these lows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see Ethereum kind of broke that today, right? We kind of broke that today. We talked about it on the stream today, but it tried. It's trying to get back above, and you can see like we got this weird spot for Ethereum where it's resistance, right? And now it's kind of turning into resistance again here. So what we need to do, and you guys can see how clearly big this level is for Ethereum in here, we need to get back above both of these. If we get back above both of these, we can start getting some like green candles in here. It's going to start looking pretty good for Ethereum in there. But we're still kind of fighting with that important level right there for Ethereum. But at the end of the day, right, I guess at least at the moment, right, Bitcoin, Ethereum charts still look good, right? As far as higher lows and lower highs, or sorry, higher lows and higher highs. Lord, it's just kind of letting this dust settle out. Still continue to let the dust settle out, and at least for Bitcoin and Ether here. Now we go to total 3, right? Total 3, man. This is basically total 3 minus stablecoins. Still fighting this January low, which we've kind of broke twice and been able to reclaim. So the altcoins are fighting hard to hold this level right here. We're fighting real hard. They are putting up a fight like the damn Vikings, right? They are coming out strong right now, all right? Vikings! We need some music to get us hyped up. Let's freaking go. We will hold the line here. We will turn this into a swing failure pattern. Let's get a little hype in the chat here. My fellow Vikings. Bath. Dan. Starchild. Wayne. Mad World. Josh. Cole. If you are a bull, this is where you need to fight. We need to build a base for the altcoins. Now, this is where we step up and fight. Incog, Starchild, get in the chat. Let me see you roar. We will fight for this level. Because if this loses, we will be out of goats. Let me see you in the chat. I love, that's my favorite thing. You know that's my favorite thing. Screw that! I'm not going to war! Bring Bob! Bring this like knockoff Jabba guy. He's strong, he's big. Bring knockoff Jabba. Knockoff Jabba is the one to bring, not me. Not me, man. But no, I don't want to go to war. That's sad. I just want to short Bitcoin and make people miserable. Not go to war. Come on. But yeah, man. This is what we got. But no, but in all seriousness, altcoins kind of fighting for this low. You know, if we are bullish and this is the level we kind of want to hold, right? So let's hold that level. Let's do it. At the end of the day, you guys know my take. I'm not gonna go over it again today. But this is where we're at for the alts, right? Fighting for this low. Anyways, besides that, what else do we got going on overall in the markets? Some altcoins tried to get a little bounce today. I like to kind of use Chainlink as an example, though. Right, so Chainlink, another day where it tries to get a little bounce, but then it gets rejected from these lows again. Right, so And it's not necessarily like, don't think it as, okay, Jordan's like just wants to talk about Chainlink. No, it's just it's a good example. It's a perfect kind of representation of like, okay, like this is the Wyckoff. If this is going to be a Wyckoff for the altcoins, we're going to see Chainlink get a bounce in here because this is the first low for Chainlink. This is the second low for Chainlink. If we want this to be Wyckoff, this is basically taking out these two lows, right, and then getting back into the original range. That's your classic Wyckoff accumulation, right? So we use Chainlink as an example, but right now it's kind of struggling to get back up in there. Okay, it needs a little juice, and that's what I'm saying, man.
Strap up, we're going to the moon.
We need those altcoin Vikings to be pumping up the altcoin back up in there. But right now we are getting resistance. So once again, the question still remains for these altcoins: is this Wyckoff accumulation where we get back into the range, or is this just a retest before a continuation lower? We still don't know, and we're still going to decide, and we're going to be here for it. But I need to see a little bit more strength before I'm willing to get into some of these, right? But yeah, that's about where we're at. Chainlink's just a perfect example of it at the end of the day. All right, guys, who the heck is Hal Finney? I gotta Google Hal Finney, man. I gotta Google Hal Finney. I'm just trolling. I'm trolling. No, I'm trolling. There was a troll in the Discord today. I'm trolling. I had to do it. You guys in the Discord know what I'm talking about. Get in the Discord if you're not in the Discord, guys. We all troll each other, and that's how we become so thick-skinned. At least we try to be. Not always. Let's see. I'm trolling, guys. I know who that is. It's not me. He's dead. His initials are CIA. Yeah, his initials are the CIA. Exactly. Franklin said, I need this market to turn around or so I can buy more Yeezys on the next drop. Nice, dude. How much are Yeezys now? Are those still popular? To be honest, like, listen, I'm not hip, so I don't know what shoes are popular. Dude, I wear the same Nikes every day. Okay, I have 2 pair of Nikes that I wear every day. If I have a black outfit, I wear the damn black ones. If I have a white outfit, I wear the damn white ones. That's basically my wardrobe, is 2 Nike shoes. And then I got these worn out sandals that I wear every single day, basically, right? They're freaking old. They're from last year, but those things are old as hell. I probably walked 8,000 miles in those things. But man, those things are ugly. Drew said, I'm super sensitive. Drew, you're not sensitive, man. You're one of the most insensitive people that I know. Let's see. Yeah, you don't want to be hip. Jordan, you didn't have to tell us you're not hip, bro. Yeah, I'm not. You guys know I'm not hip. I wear t-shirts. But I always like to make this argument. To me, the most hip people are the people who don't try to be hip. The people who try the hardest to be hip are the most unhip, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Because you're trying hard. It's like a try hard, you know? If you're hip, you don't even got to try. You just hip. You know what I mean? Let's see. Jordan walked 10,000 miles. Jordan walked 10,000 miles. Guys, peep my TA in the Discord. Elliot, we love your TA, man. You got one of the best TAs in the game, man. You really, really do. You do. Anyways, what else can we talk about today? So yesterday we got the crypto fear and greed index that came out. We'll get the update here in 33 minutes. But we're at fear, which I think this should be way lower. I don't agree with this. Honestly, crypto has the worst sentiment that, like, it just gets. I said this like 2 weeks ago, but it's just worse now. And it's crazy. But this, there's the worst sentiment in crypto I've ever seen, right? At any point that I've ever seen. And I've been through a lot on this market. This is the worst sentiment that I've ever seen. And we're still only at fear of 41, which I don't believe. It doesn't make any sense to me, but okay, here we are at fear. But yeah, so we got 41 on the fear, still not extreme fear, which is interesting. But yeah, that's what we got going on in there. We always like to do the inflation update. Inflation update, Trueflation shows 2.34%. Obviously, we had the CPI this week that came at 4, which is cool. This is going to continue down. I honestly think, and I know a lot of you guys will disagree, I actually think that we're going to have a problem with deflation if this continues. All right, and I've always liked to say deflation it might be worse than inflation, but like this is coming down hard, man. And if this continues to come down hard, we're gonna have the opposite problem that we're having now. So this is good, right? We want to see inflation come down, but also we don't want it to like start dropping to negative. That's where it starts getting kind of dicey, you know. So we got that going on in here. But besides that, we got stock markets continued to roll up today. Everyone was kind of saying, okay, stocks are going to come down because Powell was hawkish yesterday. Powell came in and he was kind of hawkish, right? He came in and he said, yeah, guys, we are going to have to raise rates another 2 times. We are nowhere done raising rates. Okay, true. Inflation is not even close to our target of 2%, and we will continue to raise rates, right? And I don't buy it. I don't buy it 100%. I don't think he's going to raise rates again. I think if they were going to do it, they would have done it this time. But he can't say he's going to stop because then markets will go insane, and they still are going insane. I'm still the fat guy. Yes, I am still the fat guy. This is Chad, by the way. This is supposed to be Chad. Do I agree it's Chad? What is the actual name? I like looking at the names of these. They're funny to me. Oh, no. This one is Fat Face. Oh, no. This one's Fat Face. This is Chad. There we go. That's Chad. Chad and Wojak. But, yeah, I don't buy it. But anyways, doesn't seem like the market buys it either. As you saw the S&P continue up today. You saw the NASDAQ continue up today. And you saw the Dow Jones continue up today. These things just keep ripping, and I'm going to continue to say the same thing. Bitcoin should be following those. Okay, it should be following those up, because at this point, dude, you got the S&P at this. You got we'll talk about the NASDAQ. We got the NASDAQ, which is the closest thing to Bitcoin with the tech stocks. Dude, this thing is close to all-time highs. So, at some point. You got to see, at some point, this gets high, and people think, okay, Bitcoin's undervalued now, and they start going into Bitcoin eventually, right? So that's kind of my take. And then if people go into Bitcoin, usually flows into altcoins after that. So that's still my main thesis is, okay, if the NASDAQ continues up and the NASDAQ comes to all-time highs and higher, you got to think some of that money starts flowing into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at with that. It's crazy though. This thing, it's so funny, man, because everyone this whole year was like, we're gonna have an economic disaster this year, and it's gonna be the worst year in history of the stock market. Remember in the beginning of this year, all the perma bears? Do you remember all the perma bears at the beginning of this year? Do you remember them? This is gonna be the worst year in history. You know what I mean? And then you got arguably the most bullish year in his. As far as like momentum in the stock market. But yeah, that thing's going crazy. The dollar keeps dropping. And once again, this is another weird thing where it's like normally this setup with the dollar dropping like this. Okay, the dollar's coming all the way back down. Okay, all the way back down. Right? Probably to $100 at this point, right? It's just range bound. It's up, down, up, down. This is normally when Bitcoin does well, right? You guys agree with that? When the dollar is getting sent down by 1% in a day, this is normally a day where Bitcoin performs well. Now, Bitcoin's up 2% today. It is up. That's fantastic. But normally on a day like this is the day that Bitcoin thrives. This is the day that Bitcoin catches a huge bid. All right? So, once again, something's got to give. It's just interesting. But the dollar going down is definitely good for assets. I'll just say assets at this point. It's good for equities and crypto, right? So we'll keep talking about that. But the dollar is continuing down right off the resistance that we called right here at the 702. at this downtrend of resistance. That acted as resistance. That was perfect. We're just not seeing the follow through with Bitcoin, you know? So eventually it'll happen, right? We just got to kind of wait it out, I guess at this point. You know what I mean? But I will continue to say the weakness of Bitcoin, despite the macro factors going on all around us, is definitely something we have to keep an eye on, right? We can't be blind to it. We can't just be, you know, we can't just be like ignoring it, right? As much as I want to. You know, we got to keep an eye on that, right? So that's what we got going around in the markets, man. Bitcoin's still holding 25,555. 25,555. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. Why did I do math? I don't know. Jordan, you are
stupid.
But that's okay. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. Let's see. Robert said BTC still associated with crypto, so it's not up. BTC needs a divorce from crypto. Needs a divorce. You'll never see a divorce from Bitcoin and altcoins, man. I've always said as nice it would be if everything in crypto kind of moved by itself, right? So one day you might have Bitcoin up and then Ethereum up and then you might have altcoins up a different day. Unfortunately, that'll never happen because everything gets traded in crypto pairs, right? So like you'll have people trading ETH BTC and then Matic BTC. So unfortunately, there's always going to be that correlation between Bitcoin and altcoins. Unfortunately, maybe one day there won't be. And then we could all party like the USA.
Strap up, we're going to the moon.
Right? We got 35 minutes until the daily close, my friends. 35 minutes until the daily close.
The daily close!
Let's go! 35 minutes until the daily close. 25,544. Still just kind of hanging out with Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is battling in here. Right? The one thing I'll say about Bitcoin here in the short term is we did come and tag that Monday low, right? So a lot of times the Monday low and Monday high can be important levels. We just came up and we actually wicked above that Monday low right here, which was right here. We actually are getting a little resistance on that. That is always one level I watch is that Monday low. So we kind of like swung fail it, came down. The big thing now will be, okay, can Bitcoin hold above this 25.4 or any type of retest? So we got our EMAs in there, right? Our 30 and 50 EMAs are coming in right there. So if this does get a retest in here, can we hold this now as support, right? Kind of like how this was support, this was support. Can this act as a deviation and we come down and then we back test this level again and hold it? That'll be the question for the bulls and the bears in here. That'll be the big question. If we start dumping back below this again, the short squeeze, the squeeze of the shorts might be over at least temporarily here. Can we listen to some Miley Cyrus? Let's go, Miley Cyrus. You guys are funny, man. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. You like that? Don't lie. Don't lie.
Warning, shots fired.
Let's go, baby. You came in like a wrecking ball. You guys want some Miley Cyrus? Sure. Let's put on some Miley Cyrus for us today. The Miley Cyrus. Brian said until we dump. Man, listen, I told you. I am not convinced on this move up for Bitcoin just yet. I guess I'll keep the same trend line, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, what are we seeing for Bitcoin, at least in the short term, right? Is higher is a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, low, lower high, lower low. So for me, okay, I'm going to keep the same trend line in here. Let's crack a high, all right? Let's open up a Miller Lite like Clint and crack a high. All right? That's what we need to do. Let's break this damn trend line, man. We break this damn trend line, let's go. The bulls might be set loose, at least for a little bit. But as long as we kind of continue the structure in here, it's just kind of like just ping-ponging in here. We're ping-ponging. Let's see. Should we play? I got a song for you here. Here we go. Ready? I got a song for you. I came in like a wrecking ball. Came in like a wrecking ball. You weren't supposed to hurt me. Come on, boys. Let me hear it. There's a whale. We need the whales. Remember the whales? I remember whales too. Remember when whales used to be in the market? Me too. There it is. We came in like a wrecking ball. Come on, let me hear you. I envy. Johnny said I envy the deaf sometimes. Me too. Me too. Come on, you know the song. Sing it. Came in like a wrecking ball. I'm about to get copyright. They're about to think I'm Miley Cyrus. I came in like a wrecking ball. Let's get it. Kevin O'Leary's in the chat. Shout out to Kevin O'Leary, man. Shout out to Kevin O'Leary. Shout out to Kevin O'Leary. Let's see. Is this royalty free, Miley? It is. It is. It's the remix. That's the only way we can get through with the big songs. Is we do a little we do a little remix. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that we can do. All right, guys. So 20 minutes until the daily close. Some of the bigger gainers today. Ocean was up 15%, but once again, it was kind of just another lower high, right? I mean, the trend is here, right? It's this, and it's this, right? So kind of just that downwards momentum still, right? So it's cool we got a 15% pump. You need to start it somehow, right? Like we always talk about. But you kind of just got to pump up to the 50 EMA, wicked above it, and then got it kind of sold off again. Hex was up 12% today, but if you're getting pumped over this, you're kind of like, look at that! Right? It's and at some point, listen, at some point we're gonna make fun of the bears because the it's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be like this, and then there's gonna be one little red candle, and then the bears will be like, "I told you." But right now you got Hex, up 12% today. Isn't it crazy, man? This is a 12% pump. You can't even see it on the chart. That's crazy. Hex got sent back to the shadow realm, man. This is a 12% candle, man. That is crazy. You had Blur up that was 8% today. You know, but like I said, you got to start somewhere. So you got some of the altcoins up today, which is a positive sign. But like I always like to say, we need to see some strength for Bitcoin to like be super excited about the altcoins, right? So that was really it. You had Sushi up 6, but but at the same time, there it is, right? It's up 6%. There it is. It's the big peepee. It's the big ass peepee. We should. Vitalik would be perfect for this time. Vitalik will be looking at this chart and going, happy and clapping. Vitalik is the best. Sing it with me, boys. Put the big green pickle in the chat if you like Vitalik. Let me see it. Let me see the big green pickles in the chat. This is for Vitalik. There we go. But yeah, that's what you got. Anyways, let me see what's going on in here. Shout out to Verhoofdy. Verhoofdy's always laughing in the chat. Incog's always in there with the green pickle. Shout out to Incog. John said pickles are trash. I would say I like sliced pickles. The only way I like pickles is in a nice juicy sandwich. Okay, in a nice juicy sandwich, all juiced up. You know, it's even getting my mouth a little bit saliva-y in there. Thinking about a nice sliced pickle, but a big pickle that's full, I don't want to just bite into that. There's a huge difference between a sliced pickle and a full pickle. I can't explain it. It's like taking a bite out of a big tomato versus having a sliced tomato. There is such a difference. I can't explain it, but there is. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about with the pickles, tomatoes. What's another great example? Like a peach, or yeah, a peach. I love to slice peaches, but you just give me a peach, whatever. They could ban pickles from the planet as far as I'm concerned. A lot of you guys don't like the pickles, man. They're good on sandwiches. You have to admit, they're good on sandwiches. They give it a little bit of sourness in the sandwich. That's like the one good thing about a pickle. And they give it a little crunch, too. A little bit of crunch. The juice. The juice. All right, so we're still watching the corn. The corn's still kind of holding 25,550 at the moment. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. But listen, we're like, here's the thing. We're halfway through 2023. Okay, we're halfway through 2023. All right. If you are still, I'm gonna kind of go over this here. If you are still a believer in the 4-year cycle, which I am a believer in the 4-year cycle. Okay, I know that markets tend to rhyme. They don't tend to do the same thing, but they tend to rhyme, right? So, if you are a believer in the 4-year cycle, which to this point Bitcoin has followed, right? We're not talking about, okay, Bitcoin going to 200K, but basically Bitcoin going up after the halving like it typically does, okay? I continue to say, 2023 is a good time to be stacking things at smart levels. To me, this is here, like you could tell, there's a lack of sellers for Bitcoin. There's a lack of sellers and there's a lack of buyers for Bitcoin. That's why the price isn't moving. But to me, this is a great time to be stacking BTC. If it goes lower, okay. I always like to say, like, okay, you're stacking BTC at 25K, or it goes to 20K, boo-hoo. You're not really going to care when prices are going up, right? Now, you guys know my take with the other stuff, okay? I think, and I'm going to continue to say my sort of strategy here going forward is when we look at the market realistically, we know, right, the rest of the market tends to go up when Bitcoin is close to all-time highs, right? We typically know that's the case. So that's the way I'm kind of going to think going forward. Now there's going to be narrative. There's going to be narratives, right? You might have some news or some type of narrative that pumps up certain altcoins, right? And then we can play those, right? We can play those temporarily. But we got the Litecoin halving in a month. We're getting kind of close to that. I'm probably going to switch that into Bitcoin at some point in the near future here, because we're kind of running out of time on that one. So I don't want to be the spy the rumor, sell the news type guy who's still holding the bag. But yeah, so that's still my thinking, right? Is be investing in smart assets, right? Be investing in smart assets, right? So really Bitcoin below, I mean, if you can get it below 25K, I think that's a fantastic opportunity. Altcoins, I'm waiting, okay? Ethereum, I think, has kind of separated itself from the rest of the market. I think if you can get Ethereum, like, in this zone in here, I think it's a good long-term buy. Long-term, right? We're talking for the next bullish phase as the stock market continues in a bull market. Crypto will catch up eventually, right? So that's still my thought process. And obviously other things too, right? As the whole world screams that the world is ending this year, it ended up being the best time to be buying assets, right? So as the whole world screams that the whole world is ending, okay, still the best time to be buying assets, even though the stock market's approaching all-time highs, okay? Because what do we know about the stock market, man? And this is always the funniest thing that I always see all the time is like, no, you shouldn't be buying this here. But once again, we sort of zoom out for the history of this thing, it goes up, okay? Being a perma bear on the stock market is basically, you're basically going to get it right at some point, but most of the time you're wrong, right? So this is the time after everyone's saying everything's dead to be accumulating smart assets, right? Now I'm going to continue to say that, and we're going to continue to do that on this channel, is we're going to accumulate smart assets, right? And then in 2 and 3 years, we're going to look back at these times and say, man, I was smart for buying assets when the rest of the world keeps calling for a damn recession every single quarter. right? And the stock market keeps continuing up, right? As Bitcoin continues up in an uptrend, as Ethereum continues up in an uptrend, right? Now the altcoins will catch up too, and I know those things are getting pretty hurt, right? And it's not fun. But I think we have to be realistic about those. And we knew going into this cycle that typically this is not the time for alts to pump anyways, right? We knew that, right? We gotta accept it. We gotta accept it. Accept it in your heart. Right? Be realistic, right? Don't be a moon boy or a moon girl, right? Be realistic and know that we knew that the alts weren't going to be doing a 20x in 2023. We knew this, right? So we shouldn't act surprised. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to do. Put our head down. This is when you build your portfolio out into shit. And I think this needs to be said right now. This needs to be said across the board. Because we don't want to be looking 5 years from now and saying, why was I freaking flooding myself out of all the assets when it was the best buying opportunities in the freaking world, right? I still think that's the case. But make sure you're doing it at smart levels. Don't be FOMOing into shit. FOMO is never good. FOMO is never good. Let's see. Bass said, ever eat a bunch of pickled beets, then think you piss in blood later? No, man. If you eat beets, is your blood really red? Mm-hmm. It is? No. Is it? Yeah. Holy shit. I gotta eat some beets. How come when I drink beet soup, it doesn't come out like that? This is bullshit. I ate beet soup many times and my pee wasn't red. I need to go to the store and get a beet. Man. I do. Let's see. It's Moon. Henry said, don't I FOMO too much? True. Everything turns red. It's like the pre-workout. When back in the day when I used to go to the gym, I used to take this pre-workout that legit turned me red. I was like the Hulk, but I turned red. It was insane, man. So I had to stop doing that. I think I lost like 5 years off my life taking that shit back when I was in like my early 20s. I legit turned red. Does anyone else have that problem when you take a certain pre-workout and your whole face and arms and legs start turning red? Like beet red. And it was like a rash. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you guys have that issue with the pre-workout. Let me know in the chat if you have that issue. If you don't, well, you know. Some of us also have other problems where we eat a lot of donuts and we get a little bloated, right? Sometimes I do that too. Let's see. Beet, the bulk. Damn, those ground bees turn me red. Haven't cut grass in years. Anderson, what are you talking about, man? How many beers are you in? Was that like you're funny, man. Let's see. Iron does that? No way. John said, I'm not a douche. I don't take pre-workout shit. That's not being a douche. It's just getting yourself hyped up. It's like drinking coffee in the morning. Are you a douche for drinking coffee in the morning? No, you're not a douche for drinking coffee in the morning. You know, unless you're drinking premium coffee, you know, then you might be a little bit of a douche, right? Unless you're going to Starbucks, right, and getting your fancy coffee for whatever, like $7. Your fancy latte for $7. Unless you're going to Starbucks, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing that we got going. I go to Starbucks. What are you trying to say? Yeah, I go to Starbucks. I get French vanilla, extra, with 2 straws. 2 straws, yes. 2 straws, okay? With extra ice. I always ask for extra ice on the side. Yeah, on the side. Oh, and honey, can I get a little shot of espresso on the side as well? Yes, but can you put a bit of milk in the espresso? Thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of milk. Thank you. Oh, that's not enough. Can you put a little bit more? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's like these. It's so funny when you sometimes when you go to Starbucks, it's like just get a coffee with milk. Like, why are we asking for these 18 different things? You would have thought, like, it's crazy, man. You would have thought you're going to a freaking steakhouse with all these requests. It's like you're going to Dunkin' Donuts. You get a $2 coffee. Like, just get a coffee with milk. It's ridiculous, man. Low fat. Yeah, you gotta get the low fat milk too. Let's see. Took creatine freshman year. I was also like Hulk. Nice, man. The creatine. That gets the water going in those muscles, man. I had to stop taking a lot of that stuff, man. I don't think a lot of that stuff's good for you long term, right? All right. So, still waiting on Bitcoin. We got 6 minutes until. That's freaking
Daily close.
That's freaking loud, man. I'm probably scaring the shit out of you guys. Oh, man. That's so loud. Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny. That is really, really funny. I think cow tit juice is delicious. Cow tit juice. Cow tit. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Cow tits. You know? Cow tits. Think about it. Who is the first? I always wonder this stuff when it comes to food. Who is the first person who went, damn! Look at this animal's tit! I'm gonna squeeze the shit out of this thing. And then for white stuff to come out. Right? Think about it. For white stuff to come out of that cow tit. And then for you to want to drink that. Like, who is the first person who did that? And I always think about the stuff with food is there's always that first person who did something, right? And how did they even come up with that? Like, who went, man, look at this cow udder that looks like a giant dick. Let me squeeze this thing, have white shit come out of it, and then drink it. Like, who did that? And then, what's another good example? What's another good example? What's like something else that's nasty? I don't know. You guys get my point. It's like, who was the first person who did that? Think about it. Just think about it logically, right? Think about it logically. I just picture this guy going, hold on. Honey, look. We don't have to hunt a lion today. Look at this big cow dick. I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to squeeze it. Ooh, there's white stuff coming out. There's white stuff coming out. Let's drink it. Let's drink it. Like, who's doing that, man? You know what I mean? Like, it was some weird guy like that, man. Like, what is this guy doing, man? Lord. It's like, dude. He said that's creepy. It is kind of creepy, man. All right. Anyways. But I always wonder that type of stuff, man. All right, so we still got Bitcoin holding at the same spot. I'm not surprised. This is typically what's going on in the cryptoverse at this moment. Yeah. That's basically it. That's basically it, man. I guess like the one other thing we can say about Bitcoin is it really is just Bitcoin's in such an important spot here. I think we can all agree. Whether you're a bull or a bear and you want to argue which way this is going to go, you can argue that this is a pretty important spot for the bulls and the bears, right? I mean, like these two previous highs for the short term are huge to hold. You do not want to dip back and below this, because if you dip back below this, you got your classic deviation and you target the bottom of the range. And then for the bulls, you argue, okay, you're on top of support. So you're looking for a bounce here. So like for both sides, this is such a big level, man. Either this is the SOS phase for the Wyckoff, which it makes sense because this is the worst sentiment I've ever seen in crypto. This is typically what you see before a move up, right? Typically you don't see sentiment just dog shit before a flush. Usually the flush comes and then you see the dog shit sentiment. But right now, the sentiment right here is worse than it was down here. And I think that is just the definition of the depression phase, right? Where, okay, you might argue Bitcoin's not in the depression phase, but right? We're in this weird situation in crypto where Bitcoin already kind of had that spring phase, and now this is the retest. And now the altcoins are kind of going through that depression phase, where Bitcoin went through that in November with the FTX crash. So it's kind of like this weird disconnect in the market where, okay, Bitcoin's already kind of, it's either Bitcoin's already at this SOS phase, right? Save our ship. Some of you guys making fun of it. Save our ship is the SOS phase, like Clint says. Like, we're here for Bitcoin, and then for the altcoins, like we looked at with like Chainlink, right? Just for an example, we talked about Chainlink earlier, is for like Chainlink, you argue that you're here for altcoins, right? You're at that spring phase. Now, the big test, like we said with Chainlink, is, okay, if you're going to be at the spring phase here, you got to reclaim those two previous lows. So like for Chainlink in here, you got to reclaim these two previous lows. But the question is, if it's not spring phase, you're going to get a rejection here and continue lower. You know, so it is really important part of the market, man. This is a critical point. I know sometimes the word critical can be used a lot, but this is a critical point. Like, if there's ever a time to say that something is a critical point for a short-term move, again, this is all short-term shit that we're talking about here. We got to separate long-term and short-term. This is a critical point, right? It's bounce or deviate back in. It's deviate back in or reject and go lower. You know, so like we can all agree, whether you're a bear or a bull, we can agree that this is a pretty important time for Bitcoin. And how Bitcoin reacts here is going to either help the altcoins or it's going to hurt the altcoins. And we can all agree with that, right? Like I said, whether you're a bull or a bear or whether you're a crab, because I know some of us are crabs. You know what I mean? No matter what kind of animal you are. I don't always like it's funny that we call each other animals. You know what I mean? Like, it is. And right now, I just want to see how the market plays out. I think, you know, I told you guys what my plan is. I'm looking to stack Bitcoin as we kind of if we get a little lower prices in here. Other than that, I'm happy with my Bitcoin at the moment. And, you know, I'm kind of waiting it out. I kind of want to see what happens in here. At the end of the day, I told you guys, like, this is the year for stacking. And that's kind of where we're at. I'm just going to let it play out. If we dump, great. Let's go. We get a second chance to be buying some more shit lower. If we go up, cool. We got the BTC. We're going to ride that up, and we'll get into the altcoins as Bitcoin approaches all-time highs. That's how we're going to play this, right? So that is the plan at the moment. I think right now you can kind of see this going either way, right? So let's do this. Let's do this, man. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you got to say this is a very, very important sign, man. Innocent said, I have crabs in my fridge. We do have crabs in the fridge, man. Oh, Lord. Some have crabs. Let's see. Daily close. Oh, the daily close. Here we go, guys. Turn your volume down.
The daily close.
I love that. I love that. It's the daily close. One more time, fellas. One more time. Let me see the swords and shields in the chat for the daily close.
It's the daily close.
Let's go. Let's go. Anyways, so yeah, we got the close for Bitcoin, 25,527. It was okay. You dumped, you got to retrace back up. It kind of reminds me of right here, where we had, it's like a smaller part, where we had this level, which was right here, where we had these previous lows, and basically we dumped below. We came up to retest. We got slightly above, but ended up getting rejected. It was just kind of a bearish retest. Now we kind of got like a little small version of this, where we had these lows. We came down. We retested. Now what we're going to do? Now what are we going to do? Are we going to continue lower here? Or are we going to end up holding the line? Let's see. Let's see, man. At the end of the day, I think we want to hold above 25.4 here. If we're going to come down, we want to hold 25.4. As we got our EMAs coming in right there as well. So that'll be a pretty good level for us to hold if the bulls want to sort of hold the line here and get a push up. But if we start breaking back below here, Well, we're back to the drawing board for the bulls. So we'll let this play out. We'll keep this up, and we'll keep watching in here. 15-minute. Keep the 15-minute up, man. We always like the 15-minute chart. We enjoy the 15-minute chart, man. That's why you're waking me. You should already be awake, man. You're on my stream. You know it gets a little loud and rowdy in here sometimes. Shit. You know it gets a little rowdy. You should be used to that by now, my man. Delio said, my short is winning. Something's not right. I'm supposed to lose. Sometimes the best trade is counter trading yourself, right? If you want a long, go short. If you want a short, go long. Profit. Oh, man. Sometimes those are the best trades. It's like, you know what? I'm feeling kind of bullish. Let's go short. You know? Or, you know what? Wow. Price is really dumping. I'm feeling pretty bearish. Let's go long. Sometimes it's like, it's funny, man. Because we know the market makes you want to feel some type of way. Just do the opposite of what you feel. Like if you tried that, like for one day, just try doing the opposite of how you feel. If you're feeling bad, go long. If you're feeling euphoric, go short. See how it works. You know, obviously, I'm trolling. Don't necessarily just do that. But let's see. You check GRT, Mark. I'm gonna avoid checking individual altcoins at the moment, man. They all look the same. They all look the same, right? They all look the exact same. So you know, I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to be like, no, man, I will not look at your altcoin. It's just for everyone's sake in the chat. They all look the same. Okay, they're all in the same spot. They all gonna need Bitcoin to get a move up if they want to get a move up, right? That's just kind of the reality of the situation. Yeah, I mean, that's crypto, right? At the end of the day, child psychology. Yeah, no problem, Mark. It's not like, oh, it's not GR. It's not like I just won't check GRT. It's just I don't think anyone really wants to look at the altcoin chart at the moment. You know what I mean? It's like seeing PTSD from World War. It's like you bring up some of those charts and it's just looking at PTSD from the FTX crash, and it is what it is. The crab is winning. Yeah. Kimmy said, "Rude. That is rude. That is so rude." Oh, bad. Let's see. In these times, we talking about women's underwear. What the hell are you talking about, Kennedy? We will not talk about that. That is rude. That is rude. You cannot do that in 2023. Okay? You cannot talk about anything skeptical in 2023. Okay? You have to keep it business. Right? You can have no sense of humor or anything in 2023, unless you're a comedian. If you're a comedian, you can say anything. But if you're not a comedian, everything is offensive. I always say that's so funny how the world works, right? Like, like think about it. A comedian can say anything they want, literally anything, and it's funny. But if someone else, God forbid, someone else comes on and says something, it's the end of the world, and we gotta cancel that person. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's such a double standard. It's crazy, man. Jesus Coin's up 41,000%. Yeah, I saw Jesus Coin, man. Jesus Coin is definitely going to the heavens. That is for sure. Let's check out Jesus Coin. Just to look at. I'm gonna look at it on CoinGecko. But yeah, Jesus Coin, man. This you never know with these things, man. Just the most random things go up. Like why Jesus Coin? Like, out of all things, you know, it is. Like, you're playing the roulette with these. But if you made money on Jesus Coin, shout out to you, man. Just make sure you're at least taking your initial investment out. Like, if you're up 5x and you put $100 in there, now you got 500. Just take your $100 out. So now it's free. Now if it goes to zero, it's like you never lost anything, you know. But at the end of the day, the worst thing you could do is like ride up an altcoin, and then it just get freaking sent to the shadow realm, and you at least didn't take your initial investment out, right? But yeah, Jesus Coin is going to the heavens. It is going to the heavens at the moment. Let's see. What happened to the True Tease ads? Well, the Fear and Greed ads. So we're using we're using the new browser here, so we don't have the ads pop up anymore. Because one, I was sick of ads on everything. You get all these pop-up ads on every freaking thing, man. Let's see. Rod said round trip it. No, you don't want to round trip it, man. You don't want to round trip it. Nothing worse than the round trip. He said, at least if you take your initial investment out, you're not going to feel like absolute dog shit. You'll just be like, oh shit, I lost the profits. But at least you hold the whatever you have left in the coin. You know? Jesus coin will set you free. Oh, where are we at with Fear and Greed? What did we get today? How did we get back to a 40? I don't get this right now, man. How did we go from fear yesterday, which we probably should have been in extreme fear yesterday, and then we go to neutral today, off of a $600 pump. I don't know. The Fear and Greed index. I don't know what's going on with this. It doesn't make any sense. But okay, apparently we're neutral, and I would definitely argue that we ain't neutral right now. I would argue that this should be like negative. If we took out, I mean, I guess Bitcoin's a big part of this, so I guess it makes sense in a way. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin's still kind of in an uptrend. Not kind of in an uptrend. It is in a higher time frame uptrend. But we're back to neutral, apparently. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we got. Brian said manipulation. It's manipulation of the Fear and Greed index, man. I agree. It is pure manipulation of that. Pure manipulation. Absolutely rigged. It is beyond rigged, if you ask me. All right. Well, that's what we got today, guys. Job of feeling greedy, pushing the score up. He is kind of feeling greedy. Should be like the crypto bear fear and greed index. The bear fear and greed index. Guys, I'm gonna short all your coins to zero. You had your nice run in the beginning of this year. Hope you enjoyed it. Now it's over. It's over for you bulls. I am going to avenge my long lost brother, Jabba the Hutt, and Jabba the Rich, which is me. We are going to send this thing back to zero. Alright, so get ready. You guys need to short. Make sure you're shorting. Don't hold. Get out of Bitcoin. Quick. Get out. I don't want to see you lose. Let's all win together. Sure. But yeah, basically what's going down at the moment. Oh man, we'll keep an eye on this. But man, it's this coin moves slow, man. It moves slow. Remember back in the days we used to be able to like look at this, the price was moving, we were able to do some TA live on the short-term time frames. Now you just look at it and it's like it doesn't move for hours. Hours, man. Look at this. It's been right here for the whole... Let's see. The Fodderfly effect. Let's see. Are you really about to end the stream? I don't like the way you said all right. You guys know me too well, man. What is the phrase I always say when I'm about to end the stream? Let me know in the chat. What's the phrase that I always say? Can you tell me? Mr. Hart said, Jordan, what is the 19-hour RSI? Holy shit, the 19-hour RSI. Oh my lord. Okay. I'll take a look at it for you, Mr. Hart. The 19-hour RSI. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone look at this. Let's take a look. 19-hour. Let's go to this thing. Let's add this shit on. Let's add the 19-hour RSI. What is this thing telling me? Well, the 19-hour RSI has some bullish divergence. Now, okay, I guess it's there, right? You guess you got some lower lows. You got some higher lows in there. You definitely do. But is that the only time frame this is on? Let me look at like the daily. Is it on the daily too? Slightly, it's about there on the daily. I'm gonna guess the 19 hours the only time frame you got this shit on. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. I mean, it is there. It definitely is there. But I mean, at the same time, let me see if there's anywhere else you had it. Not really. I guess you do have bullish divergence in there. We'll see how it'll play out. Like for me, at the end of the day, okay, we got a short-term move. I want to see this broken, right? I want to see this broken in here before I get excited for any type of big move to the upside. Because at the end of the day, it's just kind of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Let's at least break a high. All right, we break a high. Cool. Let's do this, man. Let's see. What says the 69-hour RSI? Anyways, guys. All right. Mike says, "Are you saying I'm gonna stay off for longer, guys?" And then 2 minutes later, you end the stream. That's so true, man. I have my sayings, guys. You guys have been watching me for too long. Shit. You know my sayings when I'm about to get off. That's not good. I gotta switch up the sayings. I gotta start saying, the sky. And that's how you know I'm getting off. Or I say, I miss Jabba. And then I get off. Or something like that. Anyways, guys. Oh, Lord. There's no volume, Jordan. Where's the money coming from to push it up? Brian, I see where you're going with there. Now, what I do know about crypto is the volume can come, right? It can slowly dwindle, and then it can come out of nowhere. The best example, Brian, and you know this better than anyone, Brian, was back down here. The famous saying was, "Where is the money gonna come from?" That was the most famous saying. You remember when everyone's saying that? It's so funny going back and looking at history, right? I love going back and looking at history. Now, don't get me wrong. None of us are always right, right? Some of us are always wrong. Some of us are wrong sometimes. Some of us are wrong all the time. It is what it is. But I remember down here, the famous saying was, "Where is the money going to come from?" People were saying that about Bitcoin. People were saying that about anything. Where's the money going to come from? There's a recession coming this year. Markets can't go up. Who's going to be buying shit? You know, that was the most famous saying down there, right? And then what happened? Boom! Volume came in and we pumped up to the upside, right? Stock markets. Who's going to be buying stocks this year? No one's going to be buying stock this year. Everyone is broke. We are going into a recession. Inflation is high. And then, yeah.
Nope.
and then markets just absolutely rip to the upside. But no one has any money. No one has any money, though. But yeah, so like you saw that. We're kind of at that phase now, but I kind of agree, though, right? But what I'll say about volume is I've learned this, that you can go from no volume to volume real freaking quick, right? But I would agree. Right now, there isn't any volume in the market. There is no one trading. There is no one buying and selling. It is just a flat line in here. But we had that flat line down here as well, where this was like super disinteresting. There was nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you got some volume to come in. Now we're kind of at that same spot where it's like we're kind of just slow bleeding down. There's no volume, right? As Mike would say, there's no volume. And once again, I would not be surprised at some point. Oh, it's the ice cream guy. It's the ice cream guy. There he is. Can I get some? Can I get the Spider-Man ice cream? I want the Spider-Man. I want the Spider-Man head ice cream. Give me the Spider-Man head ice cream. Oh man. You guys know the Spider-Man head ice cream with the gummy ball eyes? The little gummy ball eyes? You know exactly what I'm talking about, man. You know, you guys know. Guys, at the ice cream truck, I know you guys all had the ice cream truck before, at least as a kid. What was the ice cream you got in the ice cream truck? You gotta get the gummy bear Spider-Man one. You know what I'm saying? Ice cream guy at 8 p.m. That's what I'm saying, man. Ice cream guy at 8 p.m. You know why? Because there's a park down the street. There's a nice little park down the street, so all the kids are down at the park. So the ice cream guy goes and brings them some ice cream at the park. Let's see. Clint. I love you, Clint. You're the best, man. You make me laugh every day, man. You're just I don't know how, like, Clint is just so funny, man. He's just like that. He just has that negative humor, you know, where it's just like negativity, but it's just funny. I love it, man. Where's this guy? How many kids are over here? What have we got a whole middle school over here? Like, what's going on? He's getting closer. Here we go. All right, we're gonna play it again. Here comes the song again. All you can do is laugh, man. I want the SpongeBob one. Nice, dude. The man's selling more than the ice cream at 8 p.m. That's funny, man. Oh, Lord. That's me, man. It's the dumping. It is the dumping. Anyways, what was I talking about before? Is that we got no volume in here, but as we've seen before many times in this space, the volume can come out of nowhere, right? Sometimes you might need a little catalyst, right? What the hell is going to be the catalyst for some volume? I don't know. And then other times you don't need the catalyst. There wasn't really any catalyst right here. There was no really catalyst down here. Actually, the space was super negative still right here, right? You just came off the FTX crash. You had like a month go by. Right? I mean, and you were just super nothingness down here, remember? And even whereas we started to come up slowly, it was just pessimism, man. This is going to get sent back down. And here we are here at 25.4, and we are technically speaking sitting above these highs, right? And you have a lot of negativity in the space, and I can sort of get it, right? And I'm more of what do you call it? A watcher at the moment. I'm a watcher, and I want to see how Bitcoin reacts to this support here. So far, you got a slight little bounce, but you haven't really gone anywhere. So I kind of want to see how Bitcoin does in here, right? Before I'm willing to say okay. But if I start seeing this get broken right here, all right, we start breaking above this trend line in here, and all of a sudden the volume comes in out of nowhere. I want to see some spot volume, by the way. Not the perps volume, the spot volume. If I start seeing those things, okay, let's go, man. But yeah, that's what I'll say about the volume. And I know Owen says there's no volume. At the end of the day, if price is moving down with no volume, yes, it's better than price moving up with no volume at the end of the day. Big Parm. John said, I feel like this could be the recovery just because no one is expecting it and waiting for lower prices. That is true. That is true. I will say that. I would say the sort of the sentiment even on Bitcoin, right, is negative at the moment. But I think a lot of it has to do with my take is, and the reason why I'm kind of like neutral here is because you just have this weird decorrelation going on right now with as far as the stocks and the DXY. So there's a weird decorrelation right now. if the stock market was also coming down these last 2 months and Bitcoin was just coming down with it, I'd say, okay, this makes total sense. This makes a lot of sense. Like, okay, stocks coming down, Bitcoin comes down. That's typically what happens. The reason why I'm kind of, not the most optimistic at the moment is just because this is another week where stocks are going up, Bitcoin's going down, and the dollar is going down. And that's typically not what you see. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not super optimistic at the moment. Just because this is typically the time where crypto shines. This is typically the scene where crypto shines. And it's just not doing it. So I think you got to be just cautious. I think that's the only way you can kind of put it at the moment. If it was just a normal correction on all markets, I'd say, hell yeah, this makes sense. This totally makes some sense. But the fact that we're having this, either there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know, right? Or there is a reason for that. There's always a reason, or there's a reason for this to be happening, okay? Because maybe, as we start to get some of these coming out, where BlackRock wants to open a spot Bitcoin ETF, maybe it's one of these conspiracies that BlackRock wants to get Bitcoin's price low, get the altcoins price low, where it can grab these at significantly low prices and basically control the market just like it controls real estate, like it controls pretty much everything in the world. So I know that's a conspiracy, and it's not. I'm not saying this 100% certain that's what's happening right now, but there's definitely a weird divergence where something doesn't add up here, right? And that's why I'm a little bit hesitant right now. It's because something doesn't add up. Either it's a good reason, because a big player wants to get in the space lower, or there's something shady going on behind the scenes. We don't know. But I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon. And let's go. Let's do it, man. It's the government regulations. Yeah, and we got that going on. There's just not a lot of on-ramps. There's not a lot of on and off ramps for people right now, right? You got Coinbase. But even Coinbase is kind of getting some heat by the SEC. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, do I want to be using Coinbase because they're getting heat from the SEC? So that's definitely a huge issue you have right now. And I know people will say, but the US isn't the whole world. That's true, but you got to understand the most money comes from the US. You know what I mean? And that's not like a knock on any other countries. That's just the facts, right? So that's kind of what we have to deal with right now. But I'm sure that, we won't be the optimists. It's going to be that you're having a big player wanting to scoop some stuff up lower and be able to control the market, which is basically what like the SEC is trying to stop happening right now from two other companies, but basically maybe they want to get someone in there that they want to be in there, aka BlackRock, right? So it's I just find it's such a weird timing for this. It's such a weird timing for BlackRock to want to come out with a spot Bitcoin ETF. It's just a week after the Binance and Coinbase stuff, they want to come out with this, right? When I remember like 6 months ago they were trashing Bitcoin, you know what I mean? And now they want to come out with this. Now the timing is impeccable. It's impeccable. Crazy, but we'll see. Let's see. You still think a part of it is the big institutions globally sold a Bitcoin profit and moved into AI as part of? Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. I think a lot of the big money is looking at, right, some of the other sectors in the markets, right? Which I don't blame them. It makes sense. We can hate it all we want, but it makes sense. Everyone's selling crypto for Nvidia and Tesla. I mean, yeah, at least at the moment, right? But there's different sectors of the market, so the money flows from sector to sector. As those start to get overvalued, Because eventually, like, people will look at the stock market and go, shit, man, this thing's at all-time highs. Dude, look at this. The NASDAQ is 7% from the all-time high. Like, that could happen next week at this pace. You know what I mean? As big money starts to see you get to all-time highs and above, a lot of that money will, you know, once we start to get maybe some clarification on some stuff with Binance and Coinbase and that stuff kind of settles down, you'll see some of that money flow back into crypto, right? It's because you got to understand, like, big money, okay, if the stock market starts going up here, they'll be like, okay, this might be slightly overvalued. What's undervalued? And then they look at the crypto market's still at the lows. They say, okay, crypto market's still at the lows. Let's take some of the gains that we made here and put it in an undervalued market, right? So I agree. I think that's part of it as well too right now is, you know, is this, you know, if this wasn't going on, I don't think you'd see a lot of the stuff you're seeing right now. Let's see. Buy the green dildos. I mean, we could hate on it, but like, if you bought these green dildos here, you did pretty well. You know, it is what it is. Does that ice cream man take crypto? Yeah, he takes Cardano. I think he charges 50 Cardano for the Spider-Man ice cream. So if you have some Cardano, okay, he takes 50 Cardano for the Spider-Man ice cream. Let's see. We about to hit all-time high after Doomsday FUD. The Doomsday FUD. I don't know, man. We've had so much FUD. I just don't know what else you can come up with. You know, like, we've had every FUD this year, right? Think about it. Almost every single lending platform went under in 2022, right? All those went under. You had the third biggest exchange, FTX, literally implode, lost all customer funds. And then you had basically the macro, which was shit last year, right? Inflation was at like freaking 10+%, interest rates going up, right? And then you had, you know, USDC basically get depegged, which there was a lot of big money in USDC. That probably scared some money away too as well, right? When you have a stable coin going to freaking 60 cents, you know, like, that's not good. That's a little crazy. You had banks collapsing, right? Literally 2008. You had Binance, arguably the biggest player in the space, trying to get kicked out from the US. You have Coinbase, who is supposed to be good with the US, also getting attacked by the SEC. We can go on for days. I don't know what else you can come up with at this point. Like, what else could possibly happen to make things worse? And it's funny, you look at all this stuff that happened, and we know the face of crypto is Bitcoin, and you look at Bitcoin, it's still at 25K despite all that shit that happened. That's the most insane thing. All that shit that happened, you still got Bitcoin at 25K. All this shit. I don't know what else you could possibly come up with. You know what I mean? You had every ammo to be throwing. You know what I mean? I guess the regulatory clarity is the thing now that we're sort of fighting. And I think that's actually, out of all these things, that's probably the biggest thing, is the clarity. Right? I forgot to add that in the list. Like, dude, now you got this. We add that to the list. What else can we freaking throw at this thing? You know what I mean? Like, we've thrown every single thing at this. Same FUD, different lows. That is true. Don't say what else can happen. True. That's the famous last words. You know what I mean? Gary Gensler is president. Oh yeah, that would not be good. That would not be good, man. World War III. That is true, but like, isn't in the history that, like, when World War II happened, didn't stock markets go up, right? Isn't war technically good for stocks? Or technically good for stocks, which would technically be good for Bitcoin, no? Right? Technically speaking, if they're correlated, which they normally are. I don't know. Ban is the last one. Yeah, a complete ban. A complete ban would probably be like the last thing they could possibly do. If they just banned everything. That would probably be the last thing. Which I'm surprised they just haven't, like, why are they going through all this shit? If they really don't like crypto, why they that's the one thing I don't get. If they really don't like crypto, why don't they just try to ban that, like actually ban that shit? Like just say it's banned. You know? I guess they can't. It would go against our freedoms. You know what I mean? Let's see. Anderson said, pull up the Dow. We can pull up the Dow Jones. I like talking about the Dow Jones. It's the one kind of sector in the market that's been kind of lagging, is the Dow Jones. But yeah, we bring this up. It's breaking. I mean, it's starting to break out this week. Still kind of, I mean, depending how you want to look at this, right? I mean, I'll argue this was the breakout all the way back here in March that we back tested and came up. But yeah, the Dow Jones is, it's been kind of like one of the indexes that's been kind of struggling. But this one is actually, even this one's starting to come up now. You know what I mean? So you're right, kind of at this last little resistance. I mean, this one's almost at all-time highs too. Shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, look at all of them, man. NASDAQ 7% from there. The Dow Jones is 5% from all-time highs. S&P is 7% from all-time highs. That could happen. That could literally happen in 1 or 2 weeks. That's the crazy part about the market right now. And I know that sounds crazy, like, Jordan, you're a move, but that's not crazy. That's not crazy considering what's been happening in the last few weeks. And for us crypto guys, we want to see those going up, right? So we shouldn't be looking at this like, oh my God, these are going up, man. It's so annoying. We want these to go up, right? If these were coming down, Bitcoin, if this was coming down instead of up, Bitcoin would probably be at 20K right now. So these going up are kind of keeping Bitcoin afloat, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Franco said, why do you always talk about the Dow Jones, but you never talk about the Up Jones? Good one, Franco. I like that one, man. I like that one a lot. Let's see. What did we learn from 2020? What did we learn from 2020? We learned from 2020 that if the Fed prints money, everything goes to the moon. And we also learned from 2020, if there's big crashes, you buy the shit out of those. That's basically what we learned from 2020. Massive capitulation events, you buy those. Bless me. That's the best thing to learn from 2020. So if there was ever another one of those like market-wide black swans, like not just a crypto black swan, but like market-wide black swan, you buy the shit out of that thing. I'm talking like a market-wide 50% dump, you know? Like everything. If everything dropped a lot, you buy the shit out of that. Right? And you don't be a perma bear, because in the history, being a perma bear is the losing strategy. Maybe that'll change at some point. But for years and years and years, people have been predicting this 90% Great Depression type dump, you know? And maybe that happens at some point. And if they, I'll tell you this, if they keep up with these rate hikes, man, right? All the people saying inflation's sticky, which is I think is the dumbest argument in the world. Inflation is not sticky, but all these people basically saying inflation's sticky are going to be praying that inflation is sticky, because we're going to be dealing with the opposite problem, which is deflation, and that's where things get pretty ugly. That's where things get ugly, right? So I still see people saying like, oh, we got to still raise rates. Inflation is sticky. It's like, no, it's not. Dude, if they keep raising rates, we're going to get wrecked because inflation is going to be negative, which means that's not good. That is not good. You might be like, why is inflation negative? Don't we want prices to go down? No, that's not good for businesses, man. That's not good. But like that's doomsday talk. That is doomsday talk. I don't want to talk about doomsday talk. That's for in a few years, right? I think we could possibly be dealing with doomsday in a few years. Deflation won't happen because they got to print more. Oh, if they print more money, we won't deal with deflation. We won't deal with that. Let's see. But people say buy the top and sell low. Yeah. Buy the top and sell low. Let's see. Dollar is the future. Bitcoin is the scam. You think so? I mean, I would say the dollar is the biggest scam in my opinion. Fiat is the biggest scam. Think about it. Right? So if there's one thing I do believe with Bitcoin, it is the limited supply of Bitcoin and how fiat is literally an unlimited supply that you can just print forever. And eventually how that will collapse because it's an unsustainable, we're just talking doomsday at this point. But like it's an unsustainable model that they keep trying to keep up with printing more and more money. Print more, print more, print more, print more. It's an unsustainable model, man. And eventually that model will get wrecked. It's just a matter of time. I don't think that's now. Because right now they can still print money and they'll still be okay temporarily. But eventually that house of cards will come down. It's a matter of when. Not if. But yeah, I'd say if fiat's the biggest Ponzi scheme in the game is fiat. Easily. Hello from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Kevin iPhone. Is your last name iPhone? Really? You got a nice name, man. Let's see. Mr. Hart said I'm down for rock bottom. We don't want that, man. That would be horrible for so many people. And I think one of the things that disgusts me the most overall is like the depression talk, like wanting us to go into depression. Like that is something that you don't want. You don't want that, right? You do not like. It sounds good in theory. Oh, I can buy a bunch of assets low, but that kills so many people, man. Like that's beyond crypto at that point. Like that's where you're just destroying people. Like overall, not just crypto. Crypto is crypto, whatever, man. I mean, it is what it is. You don't want that to happen. Right? And it's fun to think of theory. Oh man, I can buy all these stocks down 90+%. I can buy crypto down 99%. Yeah, you can. But also, like, you got your whole family that's probably going to be freaking destroyed. You don't want that. You don't want that. Let's see. What came first, the chicken or the egg? That's a good question. I would say the chicken or the egg. I think I gotta say the chicken. But actually, I would argue it's neither. It's neither the chicken or the egg. Because the chicken evolved from something else, right? So over the course of time, what happened? A chicken came from a different thing, which came from a different thing, which came from a different thing, which came from a different thing. So you think about it deeply, eventually a chicken got to that evolution where it became a chicken. But before that, there was this weird little time glitch between it being almost not a chicken to a chicken, right? That evolution, like probably split second where it became a chicken. You know? So you could argue it's neither a chicken or an egg. It is actually, it came from a different thing, not a chicken or an egg. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get deep into it. Right? I think that's arguably the correct answer there. Huh? Thank you. Makes sense, right? Jordan got stumped? No, it's not the egg, man. Because where did the egg come from? The egg came from something else. You know? Chickens are mini dinosaurs. Bad mother effers. Yeah, man. Imagine if a chicken was the size of a T-Rex. We'd be effed. Even when a small little chicken chases after you, you're effed. Those things are fast, mother effers. You ever got chased off by a chicken? Those things are like... Imagine a T-Rex sized chicken just going... You're effed. Oh, Lord. Chicken are evolved dinosaurs. Huh? True. What was first, guys? A baby human, or an adult human? What was first? I'll let you guys answer that one. What was first, a baby human or an adult human? Let me know. And you guys are gonna say a baby human. That one's a little bit different. That one's different because obviously, like, in order for an adult human to become a human, it has to be a baby human. I guess. It depends on what you believe. I guess I shouldn't go down that road. It depends on your beliefs. I'm not going to go down that road, but you know, that totally depends on what your beliefs are of the start of humanity, or whatnot. But so we're definitely not going to go down that road. Oh, Lord. Chickens can rule the world. Puff, puff, pass. On to the next question.
Rant alert.
Oh, Lord. On to the next question. Who believes in evolution? Well, I don't think a lot of the chat believes in evolution based on what I saw. Let's see. The ape came first. Was the monkey or the human first? It's a good question. That is a great question. Did monkeys evolve from humans, or did humans evolve from monkeys? You probably shouldn't go down that road either. How do you get canceled? You get canceled for having a different belief. Only in 2023 can you get canceled for having a different belief. All right. Anyways, guys, we're talking about nonsense at this point. Bitcoin right now is trying to hold 25.4. That's the level we want to see it hold, right? So like that is these previous supports. So like this support, we want to hold at 25.4. If we start breaking back below 25.4, it's kind of like, okay, you know, what was a deviation and a retest, right? If we hold this, boom, we continue up. If we start breaking down below this, it's probably likely that we're going to see probably another flush down in here. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, my friends. Appreciate you for being here. Thanks for coming in. Bitcoin, hopefully we can get another little bounce in here. That'd be nice. And we can start seeing some upside for Bitcoin and start seeing some relief for those altcoins, man. So let's hope, let's pray. I think we're going to need the stock markets to sort of continue up for that to happen. If the stock markets even sniff a little bit of a pullback, you might have a little bit of an issue there. So let's hope these things keep going up. Let's hope Bitcoin catches a little bit of bid, catches a little bit of a spot buy volume in there, and then let's hope some of that money flows back into the altcoins at least to hold some of these support levels, right? Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Peace out. Have a fantastic day. And we'll be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. for the member stream and 7 p.m. for the everybody stream. Later, guys. Have a fantastic day. Peace! I want to play this one more time.
The daily close.
Boom, baby. Peace.